Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to come live to make sure that my internet was working properly. So I do have an Ethernet cord hooked into the modem itself and to the laptop. So hopefully this will do the trick. So before you come in, please hit that thumbs up and come in and let me know if my picture is breaking up or if anything is freezing or anything like that. I really didn't want to come online because until I got this taken care of, because it's just a bad thing to come online and your equipment's not working. So when you come in, just let me know when or if I'm blurry. This is just a test. Hopefully it's working. But anyway, I had to run an Ethernet cord from the modem all the way across to my laptop itself. Hopefully, there will be no issues with this because that's why I haven't been live or even attempted to go live because of my internet situation. So we'll give it just a few minutes. I know it takes a while for those notifications to go out, but like I said, I won't know unless you guys tell me because I look fine here just looking. Hey, Rudy Fern, welcome in. Does my picture look okay, Rudy? Because I got a new setup and a cord here that Spectrum wanted me to get an Ethernet. No, I'm not wearing green. I've got green eyes though. Maybe that doesn't count. But what I came on for, I wanted to make sure that my picture was okay. I don't, I'm doing what Spectrum suggested, so hopefully we're good to go. So, which type of peanut butter do you like? I would say I I think I like I use the Walmart brand peanut butter because really, there's really not much difference. Hey, Amy. I wanted to make sure that my camera, or not my camera, but my picture was right because I would not go live until I got that figured out. So to make sure I'm not freezing or anything like that. So all right, Amy, because spoke with Spectrum and they said get an Ethernet cord. And of course, with the cord, you got to have a thing to go, thing that you can connect it in directly into the laptop. So I was hoping that it was working. Is your hair color like Marinette Harley to Lizzie McGuire Ohana? The I don't know, Fern. I'm not familiar with that. With that, you got me because I don't know what it's red. All right, you can see that it's red. Compliments of the hairdresser, but I really wanted to make sure that I was able to come on here and it wasn't twitching, switching, or any of the above. This way, I'm connected directly to that box over there. And they told me if you're going to stream, the best way to do it is, get you a cord and of course, a converter. That's what I said. I got a converter to go with it. And I got that on Amazon. So thank goodness for 2-day delivery, right? But yeah, that's basically why I wanted to come on here because while you're on here, let me see how this necklace shows. This is the beautiful necklace that I could not show due to all the mess. But look at that. You want to talk about gorgeous? That's got a beautiful AB coating on it now that we can see everything and the colors right. And yes, this does have weight to it, but it's really a beautiful necklace on. And I'll move it in so you can see the detail on that. Isn't that beautiful? But this is one of my recent pickups, if you would call it. But yeah, now that you can see it in all of its glory, so there it is. That's what you couldn't see the other day. So I wanted to make sure. And now tomorrow I would have normally been on my, hey Alfonso, welcome in. Would have normally been on my Genuinely Gina, but since who knows if it was going to work or not, I'll probably go thrifting and pick that up possibly next week. It's good to see you, Alfonso, and I am having a blessed day. And one of the reasons why is my internet is finally, but I was thinking about it. My printer over there operates off the Wi-Fi too. So I don't know if that was part of it, but all I know is I won't have any more problems, or I shouldn't, and I'll be able to go live and actually be able to show something so that someone can see it and it's not blurry. But yeah, this was another pickup that I got, this AB crystal, and then I have the matching bracelet. And I thought that the attachments were so pretty that I wanted to show them. So like here's the over here's the attachment for that, and I brought it to the front with my, hey Brian, I'm live just to see if my everything, thank you. You know how I am about glass, but they was so beautiful I didn't want to hide it, and I just put the little clasp right over here in the front, and that's I think that's garnet and rhodochrosite. Yay! So here's what the solution was, Brian. They said get you an Ethernet cord, hook it into your modem over there, and I had to get a converter, of course, so that it would plug into my computer. So no problems. It was driving me nuts. After you come on here, how many times was it? And it's horrible. You get paranoid, but it does appear to be working. So, like I said, I may go thrifting tomorrow because I really don't have anything planned. Here's another beauty. This is, let me show Brian this necklace. I don't know if he's seen it. But I said, since you guys can see and there's a clear picture, look at that. You want to talk about spectacular? No, it wasn't. Isn't that beautiful? That's what I was trying to show you before and couldn't. Look at that. That's a necklace. That is all necklace. Now you can actually see it in all its glory. Let me turn this light on a little bit. But I really didn't want to go live any because of what I was experiencing with my internet. But yeah, look at that. You want to talk about gorgeous. Thank you, Brian. And it's heavy too. You know how I am. But it's really beautiful when it's on. So there's that one. Me and my jewelry. Now here's another one. Yes, it's blingy, man. If you don't get noticed with that on, somebody's blind or they don't care. One. Also, I have this necklace. Why I have you on here so we can make sure that everything's working correctly. Here's this one as well. I have the earrings that match that too. That is all glass. That is all glass. Isn't that amazing? This is heavy too. You have to put this one up, make it more choker-esque because it's heavy and you got to have shoulders, if it rests on your shoulders. And so, but isn't that beautiful? And I have the earrings that match that are like that. But isn't it amazing what having the internet work can do for you? But isn't that stunning? Hey, Laura, we're on here. So I got my little cord and everything and got everything plugged in. So I was wanting to come on here and see if I'm going to be on here for a little while to make sure that my stuff I don't glitch, twitch, or whatever you want to call it. But I actually had this on the other day when I was on Nana Tink's channel. You want to talk about knock 'em dead. Like I said, you have to have this one more close up because it's heavy. Yes. All right, Laura. Let me show Laura this one. I was trying to show the other day and it was a horrible mess. Yeah, I was hoping that my quality would be better. And I thought, and after so many fails, you get to thinking, oh my God, if it's messed up again, I'm going to scream. But, maybe the guy knew what he was talking about. Imagine that. So this is the Colossal. Let me turn this over. So, and what I was saying, my printer is hooked to the internet. It's Wi-Fi. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I had too many things going. Let me straighten this out. Maybe I had too many things running, but for what a person was paying them, it should have been. I talked to him. I didn't yell, but I was tempted. I could taste blood in my mouth. Hey, Ginger, welcome in. Let me straighten this out. I was thinking I was going to get really upset. And when I get upset, I yell. I'm telling you right now, when I get mad, I yell. And I try to avoid that because, for God's sake, this necklace don't want to cooperate. I'm trying to get this necklace to behave. There's so much of it. Let's see. Goodness sakes. Let me get this turned the right way. There's so much going on this necklace. No wonder you can't get it, or I can't get it right. I went to the Y today. I do a warm water aerobics class. And hopefully my hair doesn't look like a hot mess. So there's that little beauty. Look at that. That is the necklace to beat all necklaces. I had that on the other day. It is heavy, but it is gorgeous. But I thought, well, I'm going to come on here just to see if it's going to. Thank you, Laura. To see if it was going to work, because I was getting tired of all the miscellaneous goings on. So anyway, at least we have a better picture. Sometimes when you have a bad picture or bad reception, you don't even want to go on. You're kind of thinking, oh my God, what if it's like that again? But I think we got the solution. We got this cord running directly to the modem, so it'll probably get better and better. So, okay, Amy, thank you for stopping in. Now, Amy was reselling earlier with Dawn's channel, and that was her first show, and she done really well. She's just precious. She just as cute as she can be. And thank you for coming in. And sometimes it takes a while to learn. Hey, Minnie. Okay, Minnie. Now that you might be able to see better, I'll show you this necklace that you couldn't see before. Look at that necklace. Let me turn my light on. Check that out. Now that is a necklace and then some. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. I'm glad, Minnie, because I was about ready to pull my hair out. I really was. And then here's another glass. You know, I got to show these things off. Let's see. Then here's this one, Minnie. Look at that one. And I have matching earrings with that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful necklace. That is all glass, guys, and you just about have to wear it. Not, kind of where it rides up on your shoulders more because it's heavy. You got a bad neck. Thank you, Minnie. I had been to the Y and done they have a warm pool aerobics class, and I went to that this afternoon. And so, and then I finally got my piece in the mail from Amazon so that I could put it on the end of this Ethernet cord. And so, but I'm glad the picture is really clear because I didn't understand why all of a sudden this worked until about 3 weeks ago. And so I just, they said, get this cord, and that's what I done. And so it's working now. Knock on wood. You never know. But now, Minnie, these are my necklaces, Minnie. I might sell them eventually, but for now, look at the construction on the back of that. Get it up closer. Oh my God, Ginger. I have not been thrifting because I knew that I couldn't show it. But you know me, I have to hang on to certain pieces that I find amazing and spectacular. And Ginger says, please have a sale on Thursday. I tell you, this last one, I tell you, that glass wrapping does keep you busy. But yeah, this one's heavy too. That's why you have to wear it. Kind of looks like peacock. But I need to go on with, I think Grando Things, Beth, her husband, and they both been sick. So with this flu. And so pretty soon I'm going to go on with her. Shannon has been sick twice. The first time she got over it. Now she has something where she has running to the bathroom. Which jewelry box, Minnie, honey? Oh, you're waiting for are you talking about, I know what you're talking about. This one? This jewelry box? That one that's Lady Buxton? Is that the one, hon, you're talking about? It's got the jewelry in it. Boom. I hated that the inside of it, whoever had it. Of course, it's probably from the 60s, possible late 50s, but for the most of it's pretty good, but this down here is not so hot. But hey, you never know what happened or who was the last person that had it. Couple of hauls, jewelry. Hey, Doug, welcome in. We're doing a test on my internet. to make sure that I am not blurry or twitching or switching or whatever. So the things we have to do to get our internet to work properly. I had to get an Ethernet cord and hook it into another thing to convert it to my laptop. Minnie, which one was it? Let's see. This did I get it at the thrift shop, or did I already have it? You'll have to refresh my mind. I probably slept since then, right? And thank you, Doug, for coming in. And don't forget that thumbs up. But I'm glad that I figured out a solution to this internet because it was driving me absolutely nuts. I wouldn't go thrifting because I knew that I could not show things appropriately, so I just didn't go. So no time, Brian. You got this long Ethernet cord. You go over to the modem over there, and it's got this little plastic hook in thing, where you press it down. Thank you for the hearts. And then you lead it right over here. You put the converter on it so that it can convert to fit in the laptop, and then it's working now. I'm glad, Doug, because it was driving me nuts. I was about ready to go off the deep end on somebody. But the reason why they put that up here, that modem, is because it's in the center of the house where I guess it works better because Shannon has a computer in there. And then we got the TV. I know, Minnie, I've got one downstairs that is pretty good size. It's pretty tall. Is there a certain type of jewelry box you're looking for, Minnie? Do you like older jewelry boxes, or, just let me know. I know I've got the one that's got stands about yay tall. It's a big one down there. Thank you. This is the AB glass right here, and the clasp was so pretty I didn't want to put it to the back. So I put it on the side there because it's too pretty to be hidden. And then I have the coordinating bracelet, which I did the same thing with. I said, there's no sense in hiding that clasp. Thank you. This is this is garnet, and this is rhodochrosite. I don't know, Minnie. I haven't been thrifting in a few minutes, so there's no telling what I'll find. And that's what it was killing me, because you guys know how to do out, thrift, back, up the stairs, older jewelry boxes, but I love all kinds, music or not. I know, Minnie, I have this thing about boxes myself, so it's hard to say. No telling what I could come up with, but that's a jewelry box back there. See that right there? It's got the dust all over it. That's a jewelry box that's 6 foot tall. There's inner shelves in it, and then there's a thing that's 6 foot tall back there. And there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 downstairs. I've got one in my dining room. How fast does a Frito-Lay truck go? You got me. About 12. Oh, I know why he said that, because of the truck that Laura, she drove her dad's Frito-Lay truck. Now I know. I thought it was going to be a joke, but now I know what it's in reference to. So, Brian, Laura said she had mercy, but she may bring up the G word, the glue. Brian said, man, they hit below the belt, don't they? But I'm just so glad that it's working now. And so, And I asked them, why didn't they go to fiber optics? And they said, well, it works off of oh, waves or something set by the lines. So I don't know. Glue and scissors. Yeah. Well, I remember me telling you I got my fingers caught up in a mixer on how I did that. Those beaters. I'm serious. I don't know how I done it. I don't know if when I went to that was a long time ago. But I remember my fingers getting hung up in the thing, and I don't know how it happened. It just happened. But anyway, but I'm glad that this picture is so much better. Oh my gosh, I had this dream the other night. It was so weird. It was about a client, an older lady. I had a client that I took care of, and it was her and her son-in-law, and there was this big wall, and he had this pen, and he was pointing out. He goes, look at all her achievements there. He was pointing to him on the wall. And it was so weird because the lady passed about 6 or 7 years ago, but he had this pointer and he was pointing out all these certificates of something having to do with me. So I don't know what that meant, but the lady had been gone for some time. That was weird. At least it was not a wall of shame, but a wall of achievement, right? It was weird. I don't know why I dreamed that. Kind of like rubber. Speaking of grapes, I think I've got some downstairs. I have some not real grapes, but I think they're lucite and they're colored lucite and they're grapes. They're downstairs. That was in that was one of my impulsive moments. So, gee, she has a lot of those. But anyway, I'm so glad that this. Oh, I guess that little cable was worth the money, huh? Hope I don't have anything under my eye. I've been back there where they have the warm pool. Is sometimes humid back there, and I go there, and the grapes that go on your coffee table, those are awesome. Oh, okay, that go on your coffee table or go in your. I think they're lucite. I think the ones I have. I'll tell you, if this hadn't got straightened out, the Spectrum was going to taste the grapes of wrath because I was about ready to light them up. So, say, boy, she's got a bad. Well, I was in the nail shop, guys, and I was waiting. I had to have my feet done because I get ingrown toenails, and he had to go, and I was waiting there, and they were busy. And so I look up and I'm like, I'm supposed to have a pedicure. What's going on? So I go right up to the front and they have their list of customers. And I said, and I sometimes I talk a lot. I said, where's the top of this paper? And I said, y'all done skipped me. And boy, they got me right over to that chair because I got mad once there. And they don't want that again. But they had skipped me, and I got up, and boy, I tell you, when I go to a list and they've done been through it, and I'm not sitting in that chair, I have a problem with that. So they got me over there, and I'm like, I went over to the manager, which I know him. I said, I think you guys skipped me. I said, here you are on the next page, and I was the other page before that. There's something wrong there. And then the guy, I'm so ticklish on my feet, and then he was doing my feet and using that little scraper. And he had one foot, and I was going like that with the other one on the chair. I couldn't help it. It just tickled so much. What is that bowl? Looks like carnival glass. It is. I am too. Because I was about ready to take somebody's head off because I don't play. You know, if you're paying for a service, you know, I don't like slackers, but yeah, that's carnival glass. It's some kind of leaf. Carnival glass. You're fine, Minnie. You can look at anything you want to. Just don't look at the mess in here. You're not nosy. You can look at anything you want to. But yeah, it is carnival glass, but I'm not for sure. But yeah, Minnie, you can, if you see something, just say it. You know, like they say, you don't get anything with your mouth shut, right? It's what I always heard. This right here is what I really thought was beautiful. Is this right here. This is another check glass beauty. And Brian got his, and your lamp went out today, Minnie. Remember this, guys? It's that why they put that on upside down. It's the let me get it up here. Czechoslovakia, Bohemia. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the bottom of that. And then it's kind of frosted and it says made in the Czech Republic, Bohemia, Bohemia, and they put it on that or upside down. But yeah, I don't know why. I guess maybe it was a typo. I don't know, but there it is. That's another pretty. Guys, that's why I don't have a lot of shows in a row because, man, I tell you, you guys love the stuff. And I tell you, when you start to wrap glass, it's a whole new animal, let me tell you. I got it. Yeah, Brian got his lamp. Do you prefer to count to 0 to 99 or 0 to 100? I always start with 1 myself. But I guess you could do it. I know, Minnie, sweetheart. I try not to get what they call in the weeds because, you know, glass has to be wrapped a certain way. And you can't, it's something that you don't want to just go in and just, you gotta, it takes some stuff to do it. So, and I hate to get in the weeds. My favorite, Doug, I like the Czech glass. I like Fenton. And as a matter of fact, I picked up, what's that brand? I've got a piece of that somewhere here and I can't think of it. I'll think of it later. But yeah, I like the Fenton. I like the crystal stuff. And but I like the Fenton because it sells faster. What's Brian? It lights up. Good. Also, Laura. Yeah, Brian, I cleaned that with alcohol. What picture is that, Minnie? The one that looks like an apple or that one? Did you? I hope no one purchased that and I forgot it. Okay. This one. This is Diamond Point Anchor Hawking, I think. And then I've got 5 of these that, darn it, I never, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got many. If you did, I apologize. You probably bought it for $25. Have you tried American Bubble Toy for bubble wrap? I've still got a little bit of mini. I'm sorry, Minnie. You know how you got to knock on my head sometimes, but you got two packages en route. But yeah, isn't that beautiful diamond point? It holds 64 fluid ounces, and you have this that matches. I had some bigger ones just like that. There's your bottom. Fostorias. Sometimes you got to knock on my head, guys. Just saying. But anyway, you'll eventually get it once I get my act together. See, guys, that's why I don't like to have a lot of sales at one time, because I get in the weeds, and when you get in the weeds, it doesn't look too good on you. Used to have a lot of anchor hawking and Fostoria. Yeah, Fostoria is a beautiful brand. I know many, and I haven't been thrifting lately, excuse me, there's no telling what I'm going to find. But I do like to bring the goods. I just don't want to make you guys wait an eternity, because I don't think it's fair. And once you get in the weeds and you get behind, it's really hard to get caught up, especially when you're wrapping glass. Oh, man. But I'll check that out, Laura, about that. I've got a good place to get my boxes. There's a Dollar General just right over the way that has a lot of heavy boxes that I can get a hold of and stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't been thrifting later, and who knows what I shall find. You never know. Minnie says, and Minnie, thank you for those gifts. That was very sweet of you. And I'm like, I got the one gift, the bracelet, and the other was a bracelet and the little box. And I'm like, oh, that little sweetheart. And then the very next day, I get another package from Minnie. It's got beautiful um, pillow cases, and two bracelets. Minnie is spoiling me. I'm like, my husband hands me a box. I said, wait, what's that? And it was from Minnie. Thank you, sweetheart. You're sweet. See how many great people that we meet here on YouTube. It's just like, and I'm the type of person that gets close to people. I can't help it. It's just who I am. And you meet all kinds of wonderful people. And if YouTube does not quit subtracting, they took 6 of my subs away because it said, there she is, she's pointing. Because I have like 612, and I look up and it's like, boop, boop. And I said, now, wait a minute. Yeah, Minnie is very sweet. I mean, we just never know who we may meet on YouTube, and you feel like you have known them all your life. You've never really seen them, but you feel like you really know them, and it's just really to have a good. It's one thing to sell somebody something, but it's another to feel like that, you just have a friend in that person. It's, I don't know. I'm just that way. I do get attached to people, but for me to have a dream about somebody pointing out my accomplishments, I was thinking, where'd that come from? But dreams are really weird. Oh my goodness. Minnie says, I hope you like them and always remember me. And I'm not that young. I'll be 75 in August, and Jesus has taken care of me, and I am fine. Oh, Minnie. Bless your heart. I tell you, every day that we are blessed with life on this earth is really a blessing, because 75. I didn't know that many. I tell you, it's like this. One minute you're 18 and 21 years old, and the next minute it's like boom, you're 50 and then 60, and I turned 61, so I'm 61. So, but you gain another year, but do you really feel different? I mean, your appearance changes a little bit, but you're you're still the same person inside at the end of the day. As for age 43 and 46, you're a youngin' yet. I wish I was 43 and know what I know now. I will be 67, Rudy, in 6 years. I'll be 67. And drawing Social Security if the government don't take it away from us. We just never know. It's they've already cut some things that having to do with Medicare, and I think that is so wrong. A friend of mine, and Doug is 60, so I'm 1 year older than you, Doug. Okay, when I retired, I left in good standing with everyone, including MA's Houston. Well, that's good, Minnie. How many years did you have in Minnie before? Hey, Shell Bell, before you left, we're look. There's no. I better. Not, I'm not even going to say it because if it starts, this is a trial run on how a picture's supposed to look like instead of jerking and twisting. So, 27 years. That's wonderful, Minnie. That's a long time. You know what? And I think that uh, how many cards in a deck? How many? What is there? 60. I never thought about that. There's 60 something, I think. Lord, was I off? 52. Shell Bell said 52. But now that we've got a good picture here, and isn't it amazing what a little cord and an adapter can do for your internet? Well, I can do that, Ginger. I do have the gift for Gab, that's for sure. That is, thank you for the hearts. But I think that, and welcome in, Shell Bell. I think once people have worked, and they have retired and stuff like that, and Medicare is for older people, and you know what? I tell you what, it's a sad day when Medicare doesn't pay on things like they used to for people. In 89, you're just a youngin'. It really is, it's really bad, the people that have really worked all their life and they're ready to settle down and they want to take everything away. And Shell Bell's, I didn't think you was that old enough, Shell Bell. I'm going to apply for my Social Security this year. So hubby will retire. I tell you, it's so sad you work all your life and they want to he's 70. I heard, and still work. That is really, my goodness, Shell Bell, oh my goodness, he really needs to let go. I love my job, people, patients, customers, everyone, and hope I left a trail of being a great employee and friend. I'm sure you did, Minnie. I can tell that. Shell Bell, he really needs to retire because that concrete and stuff can wear him down. He's probably already having some problems with his, and to be working in that at 70, my goodness. He's a foreman. That's good because he's already put that hard work in. But yeah. I think that some people have to work. He hates to sit still. Yeah, he's used to working, Shell Bell. He's used to being out there. And Laura said she's never retiring. Well, I think sometimes, like in Shell Bell's husband, the way he's worked his life in construction. My spouse retired at 75. Oh my goodness. That's a long time. I think nowadays, the way they're cutting so much, that people's finding that, hey, if I don't work X amount of more years, I'm not going to have, what I need. But yeah. And when you work construction is not for sissies, let me tell you. And I'm sure that Shell Bell's husband had to put in work with the best of them and prove himself to where he could, where he could be put in a position like that because, hey, today they don't hand you nothing. But yeah, it's good that he can retire while his health is still good. My husband, I know that my husband is 64, and he's worked hard all his life, and he worked two jobs for 19 months. Yeah, I don't blame Michelle Bell. I would too. And he loaded those trailers over there at that Walmart distribution. I think that might have been what really, and he was working for Lear where they made seats for Ford Motor Company. And I really think between the two of those that really wore him down quite a bit. Yeah, because if you don't have health insurance and you get a major illness, you're just SOL. Excuse that. Um, that what would you call that? Whatever that was, but you know what I'm talking about. It's. I don't think that things should be taken away from people that have worked their entire life. And I don't think it's right, but that's the way the world operates, whether it be right or wrong. But my husband, I know he's got spinal stenosis, and he's 64 years old, and but yeah, he's worked hard. He was out there shoveling horse barns at 16 while all the other kids was running and playing. Yes, it was his thinking. He wanted to make sure his SSI would keep us financially stable. The state of Texas still sends me a monthly check till I'm gone. Well, Minnie, I hope you live many, many years to come. I don't know how your health is, Minnie, but you've sure blessed a lot of people. You really have. So I just imagine that you were the same way when you worked toward your coworkers as well. You can tell a lot about people, but you know, quote 44. Yeah, people have to think about, well, if I retire, are they going to take something from me, or am I going to have to work longer because they're taking so many things away and not, everyone plans for the future, which I don't believe. I believe that it's a good idea because, we live on the greatest nation on the face of the earth. This is America, and there's a lot of stuff that is going wrong out there, that so many things that happened in the past 4 years that is so incredibly wrong, and now they're having to straighten it out. And yes, there will be some suffering that comes along with it, but we gotta, we other countries don't dictate to us, especially when we help them out. I believe that's the other way around. And, I think they're about ready to get that war stopped over there. But I tell you, they told, what's that country that was causing a bunch of stuff? If they didn't behave, they was going to come in and pay them a visit. And it's really bad when people have to treat adults like children. Like separate, get over in your corner. Now we're going to talk about this, but it's really sad, that we have become the. I have always loved and tried to be a good friend and helped all my life. A lot of people, sadly, it doesn't work all the time. I know many, you still get hurt in the process. Now I just want to go peacefully. Many, you're not going anywhere. Now don't be talking about that. You'll be fine, honey. Hey, Dawn, welcome in. We're testing my new internet setup here where it's one long cord, a converter, and into my thingy there. It's good to see you, Dawn. And Amy was in earlier. Amy is such a sweetheart. But we're making sure that we have that I forgot I had things on that side. I know, Dawn, I was about ready to say, oh my God, is it really me? Hey, Rebecca, sweetheart. I left the door open and Rebecca slid right in. Well, you're welcome, Rebecca. That's okay. We're doing an internet thing where, you know, I was having problems with the internet. It was terrible. I couldn't show anything because, okay, Dawn, I know you like bling. Better put your sunglasses on because I'm about to hit you with a beauty here. This thing is huge. Let it not be said. When Angie said I'm kind of eccentric, she's right. Look at this necklace. Angie, she's another sweetheart. I'm kind of eccentric in a way, guys. But I'm a loving eccentric, and there's a difference. Okay, come on out of there. Turn the right way. Let me get it to cooperate here. It's one of those ones with 3 layers. You just about have to hold your breath while you're straightening the thing out. So let me get this turned the right direction here. This thing is, you would think, how'd she ever get that thing on her neck? She's always working with it. Let me get it turned to where we can get it. Let's put the spotlight on this bad boy. Let me make sure it's right. That needs to be turned. Sometimes these necklaces are a pain in the butt. Bam! Isn't that beautiful? Now that is a statement piece, right, Rebecca? Rebecca, I don't know. I try not to get in the weeds, is what I'm saying, because you can really get yourself in trouble and get behind on your shipping, and I really don't want to do that. Isn't that beautiful? I know, Shell. Well, you know where that come from. And this came from the same person, and I have the matching earrings that go with it. Look at that one. So she's not beyond wearing the bling, is she? Isn't that beautiful? Holy AB, that's true. As a matter of fact, guys, I found some. It was I think I stopped in at the Goodwill, and it was this container, and it had AB glass beads in it. Naturally, I picked it up. I got show with Tracy, so I have to send my hubby or bestie to bed on the glass for me. Okay, Rebecca, like I said, I try not to have shows that are so close together and I what I call getting in the weeds. I hate that. Not yet, Dawn. Those are my babies. But I try not to get in the weeds. Now, Dawn, boy, she'll send you an invoice and your package is on the porch before you can catch your breath. She really gets it out there. But not yet, not unless I have a weak moment. But they are beautiful. They're both heavy, but you have to have this one more up to your where the biggest part comes around your neck, because if you don't, it's heavy. But isn't that beautiful? I know, man alive. But that Dennis and Bruce, shame on them. But that's where they came from. And that's why I try not to have too many sales close together because I get in the weeds and I don't want to make people wait. I understand. Have a great night to all the pretty kitties. Oh, thank you, Rebecca, sweetie. I know I'm going thrifting tomorrow. It's been too long in between thrifts. And one reason I wouldn't do it is because of this internet and all that. So now that we have it straightened out, see that necklace in the dark? Yeah, be shining the light. You be hiding from somebody, and they shine the flashlight, and boom, you're caught. You are so caught. But yeah, I like those incredible necklaces. Never seen jewelry like that. No earrings or bracelets to match. Now this one I have the earrings to match. I've got those. Here's the way this is made in the back. See how that's made back there? I mean, that's some craftsmanship right back there. Made very well. They're not marked. But man, they're in good shape. All right. Yeah, I've got the earrings for this one. The earrings are like the teardrop right there. And I have matching earrings. But I tell you, if you have a weak neck or had your neck broke before, I wouldn't suggest that. Let's hope no one ever had their neck broke before. That would be terrible. Brian's got his sunglasses on. But what did I do with my water? I'm sitting here dying of thirst. My daughter has been sick a little bit, guys. She works out in the public, and you know that she got over one thing. Now she's got something else that has to do with frequent visits to the restroom, if you know what I mean. So I'm hoping that, I said when you go back and have your lunch, wipe everything off with a bleach wipe because, that stuff is really contagious. But if you work out in the public, you're going to get stuff. I mean, it's going to happen, poor thing. So they put hand sanitizers by the register, and yeah, the flu is going around. Yeah, she feels better. She Let me see the sunglasses. Oh yes, those are downstairs. I want a pair, and Shell Bell has quite a few too. Her that Dennis makes, and I won another pair on a question last week that had more pearls and they were bigger. But yeah, that black pair with the little pink and white flowers I really like that pair. But yeah, that flu is going around and it's terrible. So we got to find another dentist. because our dentist retired. I want a pair next round. Okay, Minnie. Do you wear yours a lot, Shell Bell, when you go out? I like mine. I slid that. They're black and they have the white and the pink flowers on the side. Yeah, they're head turners. I don't know if they're attracted by the bling of it all or if it's because that they're so different from what they're used to seeing. I don't know why they do turn your head. I had on an outfit and I had a white leather jacket on, a lightweight and white boots, and I had those glasses on and with the white on the side. I was quite the stepper in my day. Yes, on purpose, mainly when I go to pick Chelsea up from work, she gets all embarrassed. I know. If they don't get you like that, they'll get you from the side because they have bling on the side as well. So, but Minnie, I did not know that you were 70 some odd. I wear a lot of sunglasses. The sun brightness hurts my eyes. Minnie, are you in pretty good health besides do you have any health issues or anything? Dang, Mom, why you wear those when you pick me up? She says. Well, you might start a trend, Shell Bell, at school. They said, "Did you see Chelsea's mom and her sunglasses? I think I want a pair like that." And the next time you turn around, somebody's asking you where you bought them at, and you might start a real trend. Yes, Ginger, I've always dressed like this. Yeah, I've always. One day you went inside. Well, hey, if you got a spectacular pair of sunglasses, you might as well show them off. Shoot, life's too short for not really the usual my age. I'm pretty healthy. I'm glad, Nanny. I'm really glad. I tell you, I lose people and I just get so upset. I mean, I guess it stems from being a caregiver, but it just, when I would see, even though the people were not related to me, some would happen to them and I'd have to take off a couple days because I was so, I'm not one to show a lot of emotions, but when something would happen to him, I had to take off a couple days to be able to, and my company, they knew me and said, we know how close you are to people and we know how you feel, but we got someone else for you. And I figured, with the only way to get over something is to go back and be busy. But it does hurt, guys. It just about kills you, especially when you spend a lot of time with them. And it really does. It just, oh, I remember I had lost a lady and her neighbor said, go up there and speak. It was at her funeral. I said, I'm going to, but if I cry, it's your fault. Oh, yeah. With hospice, I tell you, when sometimes it's people that's getting close to the end of their life and it's really hard, guys. And sometimes, hospice comes in for people that just need a little help. But yeah, when you sit back and you know that someone is going to pass, you have to have a special personality to do something like that because I tell you what, it can get to you. I was talking with someone, about people being a funeral director and the stuff that they have to see, and it takes to deal with death on an ongoing basis is not easy, you know, and you know, when people get older, a lot of times they're like children, you know, because they're, you know, they have to have more done. I'm not making light of an older person, but you know, to see them and know that they're going to pass, and some of them, you know, don't pass right away, it really affects your psyche. It does mine. I know I had a client that she had hospice, and you know, I knew that she was going, and it was just so hard. It's like we want to hang on to people, but it was, her body was just wore out. I was part of the 11th hour team, staying with people who were actively transitioning but didn't have any friends or family around, or support family if they were there. Oh, that's wonderful, Doug. You know, that you will never know how much that means to people. It really does. And you know, no one wants to know that they're going and be alone, which that Doug, you, I believe you were really a blessing. And I think when you take the time to bless other people, those blessings come right back. Oh my God, how did you keep from, I mean, I know men and women's emotions are different, but when I would, if I was there and left, I would probably cry all the way home and half the night. But you know, there's some things that, you know, people, we don't live forever, you know, things, you know, we get older, and but sometimes it's just hard to let go. And you know, when people get older and they get, and they're sick, it's pitiful, you know. Oh yeah. But you know, I could not imagine somebody knowing that they're going to die and absolutely no one's there, but maybe one or two people are a nurse and they have no family, and it's got to be, that would be horrible. I mean, you know, everyone, I don't care what that person's done in their life, when they're passing away, you know, no one needs to transition alone, and everyone deserves to transition. Oh, absolutely. That's true, Doug. That's really true. And oh my goodness. I mean, that just takes a special person to be able to do that. You know, I knew when I started taking care of elderly people that there could come a time when they might pass away, and I had to, and you know that, but when the time comes, you just, it's kind of, you just don't, you get used to them, you care about them, and you don't want to let them go. That was my problem. Well, it wasn't a problem, it was a, he needs a trans. And Brian said he never left his mom until the end. Yeah, Brian was right there with his mom. And you know, when we're growing up and we're kids and we think that, you know, our parents are not going to get older, and we know they are, but we don't think about it. And then one day, you know, they're older and their health's not good anymore, and you know, you just have to pitch in and do the best you can, you know. And but Ginger said, I checked out a new church yesterday. Everything seemed good, but I am being careful. My last church traumatized me. That's awful, Ginger. I think the last church I was in, I traumatized them because I told them all about themselves, and it didn't bother me a bit. You know, I'm this way. I'm not a mean person. I always believe in just telling it. My first spouse died in my arms after a very short bout with pancreatic cancer. That's when I first got involved with hospice. Oh my goodness. How sad, Doug. I'm so sorry for your loss. Oh, wow. And you know, cancer is a horrible thing. And usually your pancreatic cancer is one of the hardest cancers to deal with. And once you get it, you don't last very long sometimes. But yeah, Ginger, just be careful. There's a lot. I'm not down in churches, but there are some churches out there where, you know, that some people think they're so much better than someone else for one thing. And another thing, there's cliques, and it's really hard to find a church. And when I leave, I tell them about it. I'm going to say, here's how it is. This is what it was, and that boom. And then I just walk away. You hate to invest your time with somebody that, you've got good intentions, and you go to some place and people want to act like they're. See, I'm going to tell you one thing that people really resented about me, and I'll tell you what it was. They don't like it when somebody dresses, like I do. Not that it wasn't provocative, but I wear nice things, and they did not like it. I realized how much hospice gave peace of mind to my spouse, so I made a promise to myself I would pay it forward, and it's been very enriching. Oh, yeah, it really is. But like I told a friend of mine, I said, looky here, you know how I dress. You see how I dress. There's nothing bad about the way I dress, but I do like to dress. And I said, you wait and see. And buddy, I wasn't wrong neither. I'm like, don't look at me for what I'm wearing. Look at me for what's in here. Not if I want to wear something, I'm going to wear it. Did they pay for it? No, they didn't. And I marched to the beat of my drum, not somebody else's. I know, Ginger, and it's wrong. People shouldn't. I didn't let anyone disrespect my mother while she was living. Oh yeah, Brian, I could really see that you would really but yeah, they judge people, and it's wrong. If they can't talk about something besides judging someone else, because they are not the judge. Hey, Josie, welcome in. We're testing out my new setup here, and making sure nothing's twitching. But we're talking it. Well, see, Doug, Josie was the nurse for many, many years. You two could probably, and Josie, Doug helps out with hospice, staying with people that transition part. And Josie was a nurse for many, many years, so she's seen them probably a lot of stuff. But yeah, sometimes being in the medical field, you have to be a certain personality for it, because it's not for everyone. So I think sometimes people have to have a degree of caring about other people more so than. And caregiving's not always glamorous. It's not meant to be. You're taking care of somebody, but it's very rewarding. And I'll tell you, the time that I spent doing it, I wouldn't have traded those experiences for nothing, because I know that I helped someone that really needed it. And sometimes there was one person in particular, I'd sit out in the parking lot getting ready to go in, scratching my head thinking, gee, I wonder what's going to happen today. But I know she needed me, and I wasn't afraid of nobody. That sounds a little silly, but I knew she needed me, and I would not leave her, especially with some of her relatives. And Brian said he would never change anything that he done for his mom. Right. And it's those moments that sometimes people take for granted, that, our parents aren't going to live forever, and, we've got to take advantage. Oh yeah, Brian, she was a blessing from, yes, Brian, and I'm sure that she was a very good mother. I could just see it when you posted her picture. I could just see how she was such such a good mom, and a mother is a blessing. That is something that I didn't have. I mean, my mother died when I was 2 months old, and I really never knew her. And there will never be anyone like your mom. And I never got to know her. I was 2 months old, so it's you often wonder. And Rudy is 35, just a kiddo. I wish I was 35 and know what I know now. I would take 53 even. Yeah, Brian would buy his mom things. It was so sweet. Imagine you at 35 months. Yeah, I was just a little bitty thing. And so, would you take 28? I really talk about it, but I don't really want to talk about it, but I'm really ill. Every day is a struggle. Being here helps distract me from what is going on in my body. I choose to focus on joy and love. That's good, Ginger. I don't know what your present health issue is, but we'll be praying for you, sweetheart. That's why, when we're young, we take for granted that for one thing, we think we're invincible and we're not. And then we get older and we're like, gee, how did I get to this point? How is it possible that I'm such and such years old? And it's just, but something that I notice about a lot of people on YouTube have a lot of health problems. But yes, Ginger, we will keep you in our prayers, sweetie. I don't know what's going on, but God knows what's going on. And if something helps distract you from thinking about, something that you might be going through or experiencing, it's a good thing. And see, I'm this type of person. Either a lot of people are drawn to me because of who I am. Some people don't understand me, but the hardest part was not being there when someone transitioned. It was much harder to walk into the patient's room just to find out they transitioned the night before and the room was empty. Oh, yes. That would be terrible. That's why we should never take every day that the good Lord gives us and we can get up out of that bed and put our feet on that floor and be able to function, because guys, there's a lot of people out there that are bedfast. They need help. They can't do as they used to do. And there's some out there that are older that just defy the odds. They're way up in their age and they just get out there with the best of them. Of course, they're a little bit slower, but yet I tell you, we just never know what. But no, these churches and some of them, they're really something. I'm not down in church, but I think that I don't know, some of these churches, I went to a couple right here in town and I just didn't. And when I go to a church, I like to get involved with whatever and help, but you know how people are. Nothing worse than the tongue is the smallest muscle in your body, but it is the most deadliest used in a bad way, and that's talking about other people. But yeah, it's that would be bad to see something like that. Well, hello, Bruce and Dennis. Welcome in. We're making sure my uh, internet transition is correct, and we just got into a conversation. I hope you guys had a good sale. Bruce and Dennis had oh, a lot of really neat. They had some lighters that were really old, and man, did they I knew you were special, Gina, when you offered to gift wrapped items that were for Christmas gifts for free. I thought how special you are. Thank you. Yeah, they had some killer. I think they're going to bring some more out. Was that part of Dennis's collection, Bruce? They had the neatest. It was cigarette case and cigarette lighters, and it was all blinged out. I was. I'm always saying something kind of silly in the chat. I said, you walk into a thing with a case like that and a lighter like that, everybody will be open the door, right? For you. Yes, Dennis has a collection of over 200 lighters and cigarette holders. We're going to start bringing them out this Thursday. There's going to be a lot more. Yeah, they sold really well. They did really well with those. And people like that vintage stuff. Wow, that's a lot of them that were amassed over time. Well, sometimes I think as we get older, we feel that, I've got too much stuff. And why not sell it and let someone else enjoy it? We just never know, you know. So that should be exciting. I was teasing, I said something in the chat about, I said, you guys keep selling those lighters like that, and Dennis will be lighting his stuff with regular matches. I was always say something kind of silly in the chat, but that's just me. But yeah, they had a real good. What time on Thursday? I don't know, Ginger. I gotta go pick up some more stuff. I've not been out because my internet was not working properly, and I would not come on here with the internet where you couldn't see. Oh yeah, Bruce and Dennis comes on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays, and they come on Mondays as well. They probably just went off, but yeah, Dennis, he makes beautiful. Where's that necklace? I just had the thing in my hand. What did I do with it? Some things just don't make it downstairs, just saying. He made this one with the cloisonne beads in it. Isn't that beautiful? And the rosette. Now, these cloisonne beads are not cheap, and look how big they are. This is one of his. Was really normally I don't wear a lot of blue, but I thought that was just so darn pretty. Yeah, make sure you register with them. If you wanted to, Ginger, you could just they always want you to. Your picture is real clear. Yeah, it was crazy, Josie. I mean, this thing was. Oh, I was about ready to lose my mind. But Spectrum suggested a what's this cord? It's a cord that goes to the back of the modem that runs all the way here, and then a converter. There's a converter right there to convert it to my. So the power is coming directly off of the modem from this cord. What do they call that? I can't think of it. You're welcome, Bruce. But it is beautiful, and I'm not a blue lover, but I thought that was just the cat's meow. Dennis is really in the sunglasses, man. Mine are downstairs, but yeah, I think I finally got it figured out after wanting to pull out my hair. So, what's this cable called? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, Bruce, you and Dennis have a good rest of your night. Good Lord, it's 11:24. You guys have a nice rest overnight. They're really sweet. They are such a cute couple. They get on there, and Bruce will fuss at Dennis, and I think Dennis will fuss back sometimes, but they're really cute. It's fun. It's a good thing that Bruce has a good disposition, or he'd throw half of us ladies out there for laughing. Thank you for coming in, Bruce. Have a good night. We'd definitely be thrown out, especially me and my sayings. But time just goes by so fast, you know. It's unreal. So, well, guys, I'm going to let you go. I wanted to kind of go a pretty good amount of time to make sure that this was actually ready, and it looks like it is. So, but like I was saying, my printer runs off the Wi-Fi as well, believe it or not. So maybe it was too much for it to handle. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much. I'm glad my picture has cleared up. Well, good, Brian. It's always good to see you guys. I feel so close to you guys, and we've never met in person, but there's just something about you guys that I feel like I know you already. However, you all live in different states, but I feel like I know you guys. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. You guys take care. Thank you so much for the hearts. It's 11:26. Before we all turn into pumpkins, I'm going to let you go. Love you guys. It was great talking to you guys. We learn a lot about each other just by, well, love you too, Ginger, just by talking to you. You guys take care, and I'll catch you pretty soon. I'll let you know what's going on. But for now, good night, you guys. Sleep well. I'll catch you later. Love you guys.